Welcome to China Gateway. This is China Brand Stories, where we explore how the world connects with China, one brand at a time.
If you've seen an aerial shot in any Hollywood movie, chances are it was filmed by a Chinese drone.
Yeah, almost certainly a DJI drone, right? Today we're diving into the story of Dajiang Innovations, or DJI, a company that, well, didn't just make a product. They basically invented a whole new way of seeing things.
Absolutely. I mean, they won a Technology and Engineering Emmy Award back in 2017.
An Emmy?
Yeah, just for enabling those incredible swooping shots you see in like Game of Thrones or The Amazing Race.
It's kind of amazing when you think about it.
It really is. And it brings us to the big question for this deep dive. How on earth did a startup, literally begun in a university dorm room in Hong Kong and then moving to Shenzhen, manage to completely dominate not just filmmaking, but consumer drones, enterprise uses?
Public safety too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All of it. So we need to unpack that mix of engineering brilliance, maybe some artistry, and definitely a very sharp market strategy.
Okay, let's start at the beginning then. The founder, Frank Wang Tao. So he's an engineering student, HKUST. Hong Kong University of Science and Technology.
Right.
Apparently not top of his class, grades-wise, but completely obsessed with flight control. Like, constantly tinkering with model helicopters.
Yeah, that passion seems key. His team won a small prize robotics contest in 2005. Got about, what, HK $18,000, like US $2,300?
Pocket change, almost.
Pretty much, seed money. And by 2006, DJI is officially founded. But the really smart move, maybe the defining move early on, wasn't just starting the company, it was moving it.
Right, that jump from Hong Kong to Shenzhen. You really can't overstate how important that was, can you?
No, you can't. Hong Kong had the, let's say, the academic chops, the theory, but Shenzhen, that was the engine room.
The hardware ecosystem.
Exactly. Suddenly they've got access to this incredible pool of engineers, all the component suppliers you could dream of, factories ready to build things. It meant they could prototype and iterate incredibly fast.
Much faster than competitors in the West, presumably.
Oh, leagues faster. It was a huge advantage. But it wasn't smooth sailing, was it?
No, not at all. The early years sound really tough. Cash flow problems, apparently high staff turnover. Wang was known for being a perfectionist, really hard driving.
Which can be tough on people, definitely.
Yeah, imagine trying to perfect these complex flight systems while you're constantly worried about making payroll. They apparently almost went under a few times.
Well, that perfectionism, tough as it was, probably fed right into the core tech, that need for stability and control. But they needed cash, and they got a lifeline, right?
Yeah, a family friend, Lou D, stepped in, invested US $90,000. Crucial.
$90,000, that bought them breathing room.
And time to prove the tech worked. Like that 2009 Everest mission you mentioned earlier.
Right. A team used their guidance systems to fly a drone up to the summit of Mount Everest. That's quite a proof point for reliability in extreme conditions.
Definitely. But the big market shift, the thing that really made DJI a household name, that came a bit later, on 2013.
Yeah. That's when they moved from just selling components, flight controllers, bits and pieces for hobbyists, to selling a complete, ready-to-fly drone. Out of the box, easy to use.
Enter the Phantom 1.
Exactly. The DJI Phantom 1. Sleek, white quadcopter, fully assembled, cost around $600 back then.
Which was revolutionary. Before that, flying a drone meant you were probably an engineer, good with a soldering iron.
Programming, tuning.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Phantom just opened up aerial photography to, well, almost anyone. But it wasn't just that it was assembled, it was the technology inside.
Okay, let's get into that. The core tech. This is where it gets really interesting, I think.
Right. Number one, stabilization. They absolutely nailed the flight control algorithms, fusing data from GPS, gyroscopes, accelerometers.
So the drone could just hover by itself.
Perfectly still. Hands-free hover. That made flying so much less intimidating for beginners. Rock solid.
Okay, stable flight. But what about the camera? Shaky drone means shaky video.
Ah, yes. Innovation number two, and maybe the most visible one, the gimbal.
Those motorized camera mounts.
Those 3-axis motorized mounts, genius. They counteract every little tilt, roll, and pan of the drone. That's why you get that incredibly smooth cinematic footage, like it's floating on air.
Buttery smooth, as they say.
All right.
Okay, so stable drone, stable camera.
Yeah.
What else?
Transmission. Being able to see what the drone sees in real time, reliably, from far away.
Crucial for framing shots, or flying beyond where you can physically see it.
Totally. Before DJI's Lightbridge system and then OcuSync, The video feeds were often glitchy, low quality. You were flying half blind. DJI gave you this crisp, high-def live feed, sometimes over miles, huge confidence booster.
And then they added safety features on top of that.
Yeah, layers of safety. One button return to home was a big one. If you lost signal or got nervous, hit the button, it flies back to where it took off.
Peace of mind.
Huge peace of mind. Plus redundancy, dual compasses, dual IMUs in later models like the Phantom 4, and then the real game changer. Obstacle avoidance.
Right, Phantom 4 2016, using cameras, vision sensors to see obstacles and just stop or fly around them.
Exactly, autonomously. That prevented so many crashes. It gave people the confidence to fly closer to things, to be more daring.
And the software side made it all easy. The apps, the intelligent flight modes.
Oh yeah. Act to track, draw a box around a person or car, and the drone just follows them, keeping them in shot.
Like having your own aerial camera crew.
Pretty much, or tap a spot on your phone screen, the drone flies there, the DJI Go app, later DJI Fly, put all this power, flight controls, camera settings, everything right into your phone. Super intuitive.
So they basically took something incredibly complex and made it feel almost effortless.
That was the magic. Hardware and software working seamlessly together, which brings us to why their competitors just couldn't keep up.
Yeah, talk about that. 3D robotics, Parrot, even GoPro with their Karma drone. They all faded away. Why did DJI win so decisively?
Well, a lot of it comes back to that Shenzhen advantage and vertical integration. DJI designed and made almost everything in-house. The motors, the gimbals, the sensors, the flight controllers.
Whereas a company like, say, 3DR in Silicon Valley.
They were more software-focused. They relied on buying components from other suppliers, which meant
Higher costs, slower development, less integration.
all of the above. DJI could tune everything to work perfectly together, iterate faster, and crucially drive down costs because of their scale and control over manufacturing. They just offered better performance and reliability for less money.
And the market responded. The market share numbers are pretty staggering.
Yeah, by the early 2020s, they had something like 70, maybe 80% of the global drone market, just dominant.
And they didn't just stick with the Phantom line, did they? They sliced up the market.
Oh, brilliantly. For the pros, the filmmakers, they brought out the Inspire one in 2014.
The one with the landing gear that lifts up.
Yeah, so the camera has a full 360-degree view, 4K camera. That became a Hollywood workhorse almost overnight.
Then, for portability, the Mavic.
Mavic Pro, 2016, that was huge. Folded down to the size of a water bottle, but still packed pro features. Suddenly, everyone could take a high-quality drone traveling. It just exploded.
And they even played the regulation game with the smaller drones.
Right, the Mavic Mini series. Kept it just under 250 grams. Why? Because in many places, drones under that weight didn't need to be registered. Smart move.
Very smart. And then the industrial side. Matris, Agris.
Yeah, Matris for things like inspecting wind turbines or bridges, and Agris for agriculture. Crop spraying.
That Agris drone example is wild, replacing a $250,000 tractor sprayer with a $35,000 drone.
It's a massive economic shift for farming. Precision agriculture, automated, lowering costs, potentially increasing yields. It's transformative stuff.
And they didn't stop at drones. They took that core text stabilization imaging and put it into other products.
Exactly. The Osmo handheld gimbals for smooth walking shots with your phone or their built-in cameras. And the Ronin series. Big gimbals for professional movie cameras.
Creating this whole ecosystem.
Yeah, an Apple-like approach. If they perfect a stabilization motor for a drone, that knowledge, that tech flows into the handhelds, it reinforces the brand image. Smooth, stable, professional results.
Let's talk about that impact more broadly. Culturally, visually.
Right.
You mentioned Hollywood. The Inspire 3 is now officially approved by Netflix for their original shows.
Right. Drones aren't just for establishing shots anymore, they're A cameras, part of the main toolkit. It's changed cinematography.
And beyond entertainment, the real-world uses are incredible.
Life-saving, even. After Hurricane Helene, rescue teams used DJI drones to find over 150 stranded people. They even used them to deliver water and supplies to people they couldn't reach immediately.
Wow. And law enforcement relies heavily on them too.
Hugely. By 2020, something like 90% of drones used by U.S. police and fire departments were DJI, search and rescue, mapping accident scenes. They became the standard tool because they were reliable and cost-effective.
Plus infrastructure inspection. Safer ways to check towers, power lines.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But maybe the broadest impact was just democratizing aerial creativity. DJI basically kickstarted this whole global drone cinematography culture. Regular people, travelers, YouTubers, suddenly anyone could capture these amazing vertical perspectives.
It really did change how we see the world. But that dominance, especially being a Chinese tech giant, came with challenges, right? Geopolitics.
Oh, big time, especially in the late 2010s, early 2020s. Major scrutiny, particularly from the US government, concerns about data security, where the flight data was going.
The fear being that flight logs, video feeds, mapping data from sensitive areas could end up accessible to Beijing.
That was the core concern, yeah. Leading to bans on US federal agencies using DJI drones and DJI being put on certain trade blacklists.
So how did DJI navigate that? They're still selling globally.
They focused hard on compliance and reassurance. They introduced features like a local data mode, basically an internet kill switch for the drone during sensitive flights, ensuring no data gets transmitted.
Okay.
And they proactively adopted safety regulations like building in geofencing to automatically prevent flying in restricted areas like airports. Plus, complying with new rules like remote ID in the US and Europe.
That's the digital license plate for drones, right?
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
Helps authorities identify who's flying what. So they tried to be good citizens, technologically speaking.
But the irony is, despite those government bans in the US, many agencies found it really hard to replace their DJI fleets.
That's the market reality hitting political walls. Many US public safety agencies basically said, look, the American-made alternatives just aren't as good yet. They're often less reliable, harder to use, and sometimes cost twice as much.
So DJI's performance and price just kept them dominant, even with the restrictions.
Largely, yes. Market inertia and a proven track record are powerful forces. Reports suggest they still held over 80% of the North American market even into 2025.
So let's wrap this up by thinking about the brand itself. DJI really did pioneer a whole new global product category, didn't they? And showed that a Chinese company could lead with design and tech, not just manufacturing volume.
Absolutely. They shattered that old made in China equals cheap copy stereotype. Their brand is about this fusion of high-level engineering and, frankly, really slick design and user experience.
That minimalist aesthetic, the Mavic design, it feels premium.
It does. And they back it up with massive R&D, apparently over 4,000 engineers. They built products people aspired to own based on quality and capability.
And that success story, that model, it inspired others in China, right? You mentioned Insta360 earlier, aiming for that global premium tech brand status.
Definitely. DJI proved it was possible. They set a benchmark for innovation coming out of Shenzhen that resonated worldwide.
When you think about their core tech stabilization, imaging, autonomous flight, it feels like the potential goes way beyond just drones, doesn't it?
Oh, for sure. You see it already in their gimbals. But think robotics in general. Maybe aerial taxis someday, advanced robotic vacuums, underwater systems. The fundamental tech they mastered has applications everywhere.
It's really quite a story. From a dorm room to defining how we see the world from above.
It really is. I mean, at the end of the day, DJI didn't just build drones, it built a new perspective of the world.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Thanks for joining us. This is China Gateway, where we explore how the world connects with China, one brand story at a time.